Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm just on the move at the moment because I'm about to start heading off towards Battersea Park for a half marathon this morning. It's the first race that I've actually done in a very long time, so I'm excited to go and have a go, see what I can do. So yeah, really happy and glad to see that we've made it to the start line. Well, almost to the start line. I got to get there first. I've just had my breakfast. I'm going to have some electrolytes and some beetroot in the car as well as a coffee. So yeah, I'm going to get driving and then I've got to get a couple of trains and then I will update you when we get there. Alright, made it here to Battersea Park with about 45 minutes to spare. Got a little bit lost on the way. Come out of the train station, didn't know where I was going, but yeah, gonna go get my race bib and go to the toilet and then we'll warm up and start. Alright, and here we go, Battersea Half Marathon, first race of 2026. Let's see what we can do. So usually going into a race, I have an idea of a time or pace that I want to try and aim for. However, this is a bit different because we've come back from injury. I haven't really done any half marathon specific training. It's all been marathon based. So I have no idea what kind of time we're going to be able to do, let alone what time to aim for. The only two sort of goals that I had in mind were I wanted to either PB or stick under marathon pace. So to PB, I would have had to have stuck around 4:05 per kilometre. For marathon pace, I would want to be about 4:15 per kilometre. So trying to aim for either of those, but I just thought let's head out, settle into a pace, see where we settle, and then try and stick with it from there. The course for this race isn't too interesting in all honesty. It's almost 9 laps around the park. Each lap is about 2.5k, so nothing really to talk about. It is pancake flat, which is a plus, but it is quite crowded. We have to share the park with everyone else who wants to use it on that day, and there's also not just a half marathon but a 10k going as well, so it's kind of difficult to weave in and around people, and a lot of the time I'm having to run on the outside of the course, which when you're doing 9 laps is adding quite a bit of distance, which I'll touch on a bit later, but I guess you could compare it to running on the outside of a track. Not too much of a big deal, but in terms of getting an accurate time, it does add up. So straight away I'm settling into a pace nicely of about 4 minutes per kilometre, which is about 6:25 per mile, and yeah, it feels really nice. It feels like I'm not pushing too hard at all. It's hard to really gauge still at this point because, as I say, haven't really done any training for half marathon and I don't really know what my fitness level is. So I'm going to try and stick to this, see how I feel. If I slow down, then that's fine. We should still be sticking around 4:05 pace. If we can keep it up, we'll be on for a really nice PB. So for my choice of shoe in this race, I've gone for the Saucony Endorphin Elite 2, which is the shoe that I intend to run the Manchester Marathon in. So really I want to use this as a tester for the shoe. I have used them before in training. I've had them for quite a long time, but sort of had to put them on the shelf because of the injury. So yeah, it feels good to have them on, really give them a good go and see how they feel at faster paces. I mentioned a moment ago that the course gets pretty crowded on this race. However, you're probably looking at it now thinking that's not too bad, but this is just the start of the half marathon. The 10k started on the other side of the park, and pretty soon we're going to catch up to them and start having to weave around them, and then once we get past them, we're going to be catching up with the first lap from the half marathon. So yeah, I'm enjoying this while it lasts, but it does get pretty crowded not long after this. So for my race videos, I like to have the stats up on screen like I have here for you guys, so you can follow along and see what's happening in real time. However, something happened with my Garmin and my camera where they're sort of out of sync a little bit. only by about 1 minute. I managed to fix it on this first clip, but you'll see going forward that sometimes there's no stats there, or the stats don't quite match up to the kilometre that I'm on. But I tried my best for you, but just know when the stats leave and then come back, that's the reason why. I'll try and fix that for the next video, but there's nothing I can do this end. It just seems to be something that's played up, maybe because the clocks changed the night before, I'm not sure, but I'll look into it and hopefully we'll be able to fix that for the next one. Kilometre 1 has come in at a 4:02. Really happy with that. As I say, if we can stick around 4 minutes per kilometres, or even just above that, we'll be on for a nice personal best. So I'm going to try and stick with this, see how we feel. Obviously, if I start to slow down, I'm not going to be too upset. As long as we finish strong, that's all I really care about. But if we can sneak that PB in, I'm going to be really happy. Feels absolutely amazing to be back out here racing again. It's been about 6 months since my last actual race, and about 15 weeks ago I wasn't able to run at all. So yeah, really happy to be here. I'm so excited to just go, give it a go. Even if we don't come away with the PB, the real goal for me here is just getting over that finish line with no problems. And so far, feels really good. So good that I forgot to record the second kilometre, which actually come in at 3:59, and kilometre 3 come in at 4:01. So yeah, really happy with that. Still feel really good. Doesn't feel like I'm pushing myself too hard. Might be the adrenaline, but we'll see how I get on moving forward. Coming towards the end of lap 2 now, which puts us at kilometre 4, which has come in at 3:57. So we're picking up a little bit, but we are about to hit some of that congestion that I spoke about earlier. So fingers crossed it doesn't affect us too much and we can keep that pace and keep steady. At the 5 kilometre mark, we're showing no signs of slowing down. 4:01 for kilometre number 5, 20 minutes and 1 second for the 5k, which is surprising me because I still feel really good. I haven't been able to run 20-minute 5ks for quite some time, so yeah, really shocking myself, but as I say, feeling good, so there's no point slowing down just yet. Kilometres 6, 7 and 8 have come in at 4:00, 4:00 and 3:58 respectively, which is great. I'm sticking around that 4-minute pace, sometimes a bit quicker, and my heart rate isn't jumping up. 184, 183 is roughly where I'm at, but for me that's quite a good heart rate to be at. My heart rate can get up to about 205, so yeah, this is about where I want it to stay. So hopefully it doesn't spike up and we can keep that pace. Finishing up lap 5 here, just 4 more to go, which means the countdown is on. I don't know about anyone else, but I like to count up to about the halfway point and then I start counting down as we finish off the race. So yeah, in countdown mode now, 4 laps to go, let's get it done. At the end of each lap was where the worst congestion was, and you'll probably be able to see it here. But yeah, there was a bend with a water station and it was kind of hard to tell who was going for water, who wasn't. You had slow runners, fast runners, and it was just a bit of a nightmare to get through. But luckily it wasn't too far, only about 100 metres, and then we were back out onto the straight. So yeah, had to get through this and then we're back on pace. When I'm in a race, I always like to match up my time with the kilometre or mile marks, just to make sure that my watch isn't off and I'm actually running faster or slower than I think. So try to keep an eye out, and if you guys have been watching the video and keeping a close eye, you'll see that they don't quite add up. I figured out soon after this that the kilometre markings were for the 10k, the mile markings were for the half marathon, which sucks because I was going in kilometres. I do know some of the conversions, but it's kind of tricky to gauge. The lowest common multiple that I can think of is that 8 kilometres works out to about 5 miles. pretty much bang on. So I tried to look out for the 5 mile mark, but I noticed that my watch was slightly out, probably about 100 meters at this point, but yeah, nothing too much, so just trying to keep a consistent pace. So my camera that I use has only got so much battery on it, which means I can't record every kilometre. So just catching up, kilometre 9 was 4:02, kilometre 10 was 4 minutes flat. The 10 kilometre mark come in at 40 minutes flat, which is amazing. Kilometres 11 and 12 were both 4:03s, so starting to slow very slightly, but I'm going to try and make those seconds up as we go forward up to 15 kilometres. We're coming up to kilometre 15 now, and kilometre 13 was 3:57, kilometre 14 was 4 minutes flat, so made a few more seconds back, and kilometre 15 come over in a 3:59, giving me a total time at that mark at 1 hour 1 second. So 1 second away from being at 4 minute flat kilometre pace, which again, don't know what's getting into me today. I've never been able to hold this pace past the 10k mark, so really enjoying this. Still feel pretty good, but I know I'm going to have to lock in, push forward and get that last 5k under my belt, and then we can go for a quick fast kilometre and hit a new personal best. Kilometre 16 coming up, and we've managed a 3:58. Now this is another marker where I can sort of gauge against the mile markers, because I know that 10 miles is 16 kilometres or around about there. So come through 16 kilometres and we're nowhere near the 10 mile mark, so I think either it's off or we are about 400 metres behind where we need to be. Either way, I'm going to keep trying to push and get that personal best. Even if we are slower than 4 minute kilometre pace on the official time, I think that we'll be able to squeeze in maybe around a 1:25 or so for a half marathon. We're just about to finish lap 8, which means we're coming up to the final lap. It's starting to get really crowded now, but we're still pushing forward, it's still staying strong. Kilometre 17 was a 4:04, so a little bit slower. Kilometre 18, 3:58, picking up a few more seconds. We're only 1 second behind the pace that we want to be at, and yeah, it's now the final lap, so time to get our heads down, push, finish strong, and yeah, hopefully bag that personal best. I mentioned it before, but I had no idea what kind of time I was going to be able to go for in this half marathon, and it's really surprised me that I've been able to stick to this pace consistently throughout. I just need a few more kilometres and will have bagged a really nice personal best for myself, which again, wasn't sure if that was going to happen, but yeah, having the run of my life at the moment, really enjoying it. Heart rate hasn't spiked up anymore, so just going to finish strong, see how we get on. Kilometre 19, 3:56. We're starting to push that pace in this last lap, and I'm still feeling really good. We've made up a few more seconds, just need to stay strong on this pace. We can try and shave off a few more seconds from our total time, and big sprint finish at the end to save some more. Okay, 20 kilometers done, 3:59 for that last one, just one more to go. Our total time is just under 1 hour and 20 minutes, which means we're on for a sub 4-minute pace for the entire half marathon. Just need to keep strong in this last kilometer and then a final sprint finish at the end. Less than 1 kilometer to go and my camera has died on me, so had to put it away, and I just pulled out my phone for the last final sprint finish. So here you go, here's that footage, and let's see what time we ended up with. And there we go, we finished strong over the line with a final time of 1:25:54. Alright, so for any of you guys who are good with paces, you'll pretty quickly notice that 4-minute kilometer pace doesn't work out to that finish time, and the reason for that is that I was 400 meters over on my watch. That discrepancy, I think, is just mainly coming from the fact that I was weaving in and out and going round the outside, as I say, kind of like when you go around the outside of a track, it does add up over time. Now, I think if we want to be picky about it, you could probably say that my actual time was a little bit quicker than my official time, but I'll always go for the official time. My watch said that the half marathon distance finished at about 1:24:14, I believe, but yeah, we'll go with the official time. That's what I'm going to chuck up on the board, and that's what I'll obviously tell people my personal best is. I won't cheat and tell them it was quicker than the official time, but I think deep down I know it was a little bit quicker than that. But either way, it was a personal best for me and really give me a boost of confidence. I wasn't sure exactly where I was at fitness wise for Manchester. I did actually make the decision to not go for the sub 3 and try and go for about 3:05. However, after some really good training, which you'll see in my previous video, as well as this half marathon PB, I think maybe I am fitter than I was last year, and I can probably push and go for the sub 3 with the right nutrition and hydration. So yeah, gonna really work on getting the hydration right in my long run coming up in the next week. I didn't actually take any water on during this half marathon just because it was really tricky at the station, but yeah, in Manchester I'll make sure that I am taking on enough water and enough electrolytes. And that's going to do it for this video, so please do like the video and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you think I'm ready for a sub 3 hour marathon. We're only a few weeks away now. The next video might be the Manchester Marathon video, so do subscribe to keep updated with that. Follow me on Instagram as well, so you can check out live updates. It takes me about a week to get these videos out, so you'll catch up quicker on the Instagram. I'll leave it in the link below. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys later.